Live on YouTube and Twitch. What up, D Lee?
What's up, homie?
What's good?
Chilling, man. Chilling. Sitting there
You
doing
doing big
something.
things, man. You doing big things out
Man, stop, boy. The master monetization telling me I'm doing big stuff means a lot,
here.
bro. I gotta write that down. Hold on, man. What's the date? The date is August 24th, Saturday, 9/22. You told me I was doing big stuff.
Is this you at the Nike EYBL Academy? No, this is the Nike Academy. Is this you right here? Is that you?
Where?
Is that
Let me
you?
see. That
Come
kind of
on,
look like me. That look like
So I'm here to
me. Yeah. Great time, man.
right. I'm Dorian Lee. I'm the CEO of Basketball 101 in Atlanta, Georgia. I've been player development, training, and coaching for almost 2 decades. Played at the University of North Florida. I'm literally the oldest in this room, probably here except for Coach Barnes, probably the only one. So I'm 52, and I've been doing this for a long time. I've seen a lot of athletes come in and out of the doors. I've seen dreams like really explode, and I've seen many dreams be deflated just because people didn't have enough knowledge in order to go to the next level. And one of the things that we want to do today is kind of keep that dream alive for you, because it can end quickly. So I'm here to answer any questions and to do whatever we need to help you.
My name is Derek Lively II. I play in the Dallas Mavericks right now. 20, so I'm probably the closest one here to y'all age. You know, I'm only a couple years older than y'all. So I'm gonna keep it 100% honest. I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. You know, excuse my language, but this ain't easy. You know, getting to the NBA, getting to the WNBA, it's not easy. Yep. And you know, that's gonna be the easiest part of your journey, because the hardest part is staying in the NBA.
For sure.
I can tell y'all that right now, but I'm gonna give y'all the cheat sheet. It might not sound good. It might hurt a little bit, but I'm gonna tell y'all the truth.
For sure. I wanted to.
So D, what's going on right here, bro? What talk to me? What's going on?
Well, what we were doing, we had the life skills session on that particular day, and Theo has done an incredible job, man. Theo is really doing a lot of great stuff in the podcast space, and we really wanted to talk to them about this business of basketball, some of the stuff that they need to pay attention to that could derail them from having the type of success, and really be real with them. This is, if you watch that podcast, bro, I tell you, Gino, we were real. Like, it was the real, how your family is part of your team, how your agent, who is a part of your team, your trainers are part of your team, that they can hurt you going to the NBA or the WNBA if everybody's not on the same page. So it's so important that we understand that everything matters, right? How we position ourselves, you know, the teams we play for, you know, what we're looking for. Say, for instance, you know, we're in a big space now with NIL. And I know you've seen this, Gino. People will take short money that will mess up their long money, but they think that short money is big because it's 500,000, $1 million. Man, that's no money. When you think about the back end, it could be costing you because you chose a school that wasn't the best fit, but it was the one that paid you the most money. Okay. You got to go with the best fit. So we talked to them about all of this, like best fit, attitude, being a role player. I talked ad nauseum about them being role players. If I approached them and I said, you know, hey, Gino, you ain't gonna be no star in the league, bro. So you need to just get yourself together, be ready for it. You ain't gonna be no star, but you know, you still could make $300 million. Most kids today, if you say that to them, they're gonna reject.
They're gonna get offended.
They're gonna get offended. They're gonna think you hating. They go, oh man, how you even know what I mean? but the truth of the matter is, man, $300 million is $300 million. You're a role player, but you got generational wealth.
Yeah.
Right. And 300 million, I mean, over the course of a role player can make 300 million for a career now. Like it's incredible the amount of money that people like Derek White and Drew Holiday are making. That's like big money. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
That's really what it was about. And I thought Derek was exceptional. Theo, their stories, because they've been through it. Theo was the #1 ranked player in the country. D Lively started off was like, what I'm known for is being the biggest bust in Duke basketball history, according to most people. And I had to fight through that because people expected this. And I got a perfect situation. Cuban took a chance on him, and man, he paid huge dividends this year in terms of getting them to the finals. Man, he was a huge piece. And we also talked about, I think it's really important. We talked about him. I said, look, you're a role player, but when you do the things that bring value to your team, your role is often expanded. You can do things that you couldn't do in the beginning because you've proven, look, I'm a rebounder, shot blocker. You really can't pull me out. I got to be on the floor. So I'm going to take this 3 every now and then. Now, if I start hitting the 3, guess what? They start writing into the playbook. Plays for you to pick and pop. And that's how you expand your game. But I think a lot of times kids get into it. If you think about it, Gino, they come in like, I'm going to show them from the beginning. This is what I'm going to do. I'm the killer. I'm the baller. If they already got a Luka or a Kyrie there, really what they need from you. You know, they going to need something else than just you having the ball in your hand the entire time. And we talked to them about that. So I thought it was really, really powerful, man, for them to have people like Theo and Derek on stage.
Okay, for sure. All right, so let's transition into some Caitlin Clark.
That's my dog. I like Caitlin, man.
I know that's your girl.
Right.
So have you seen, well, let's react to the video of Skylar Diggins-Smith bumping into her. Have you had a chance to see it?
Yeah, I saw a little bit. I still don't know all of the context, but I can make obviously a general statement about it, about competitiveness and then the stuff that happens in games all the time. I always think we do have a little bit of, we have too much virtue when we get beat, but it ain't the same when we whooping everybody. You know what I'm saying? It's I've seen that a lot in terms of sportsmanship. People always yell unsportsmanlike when they're on the receiving end of a beatdown or a whooping, and not the vice versa. But I got respect for both of them. I love Skylar. I always thought she was a hell of a player, and Caitlin a hell of a player. So,
all right, let's check it out. It's a little choppy, but what happened was she was just giving the Storm buckets, man. And just for context, they called a timeout to kind of stop the run, and she was walking toward a bench, hyping up the crowd. And Skylar Diggins-Smith decided to like bump into her on the way out, and it kind of riled her up. But you know what the word woofing means? You ever heard the word woof? You know what the word woofing is? It seems like Caitlin Clark is woofing back at the other teams now. Before she was just kind of taking it. Now it seems like she's woofing back, and I like it. I do. I like it. I like that from her.
She when you speak of wolf, that's a canine breed. That's a dog, and she has that. She got that dog in her, man, and that's the one thing I love, man. But let me ask you this: tell me what you think about that rest break. Do you think that gave her almost superpowers, man? Like she's looking totally different. So how do you think that rest benefited her?
Well, she was able to take some time off, and because she hadn't had a break. She went right from the she went directly from the NCAA tournament to training camp. I mean to draft to training camp, and then she started the season. And I think her not getting on that Olympic team gave her some time to kind of rest her body, get her mental health up, and she's coming back. She looks ready. She looks like she's ready to win Rookie of the Year or kind of prove to the rest of the players in the WNBA that she's here. I like it. I like her being a wolf instead of just kind of letting them push her around. Like she's wolfing back at those girls. I like it, but
Yeah.
you got to let your game do the talking. All of the
Yep.
other stuff,
Yep.
like all of the be quiet. Like I don't like all that. Just let your game do the talking, man. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yep. Now I agree with you on that. Like I'm gonna say this, dog. Years ago, my girl Angel McCoughtry, when she was at Louisville, she literally, man, 4.5 steals a game for like she led the nation in steals. Like she used to just pick folks' pocket. And you always say, okay, can she do it in the league, right?
Uh-huh.
Man, Angel came right to the league, picking folks' pockets, same way she did in college. Dog. It looked the same. And I started realizing sometimes what people do is what they do. Caitlin looked literally, her motor, she looked as fast, if not faster, than she did in college. Like her motor, man, she gets up and down that court, man. And she gets up with a purpose. I hadn't seen many players, male or female. I mean, I'm on my sons about this, how she gets in transition with a purpose. It's not just running. She always looking ahead. She always looking for, cutting players and hard runners on that wing, rim diving. Like if you run with her, man, ask Kelsey Mitchell. Kelsey a dog anyway. Mm-hmm. But man, Caitlin's setting her up crazy, dog. That could be, I'm telling you, that could be one of the best backcourts over the next 5-6 years in the WNBA. I'm talking about like high level. Both of them exciting because you can. Caitlin is still more of a point guard. Kelsey can run point guard, but you could play both of them on or off the ball, bro. That's a problem.
For sure. Okay. All right. Oh, I want to ask you something. I got a question for you. So how do you feel about coaches who never played the game training kids?
It's always tough. We've had this, me and Tyler Ruff did a live one time because we were talking about it. And I do believe to an extent that person has to have some on-court, under pressure experience because it's great to talk in theory, but when you really been under that pressure, it's a different level. It's not theory anymore. It's like true experience. You can say, look, one of the things that I always feel like connected me to players was I was always honest. Like I've been nervous at the line. It wasn't all the time, but it was times where I was about to lay a brick. But guess what? You can talk, say, look, what happened? Nigga, I shitted a brick, missed a free throw. Uh-huh. But I realized later I had to start breathing, settle myself down, not worry about the outcome, blah, blah, blah. So now they don't look at you as superhuman. See, that's the problem we've always had with our parents, man. Our parents always presented like everything was perfect. Like you ain't never had no problems. You ain't never get in trouble at school. You never did this. Then we started talking to our aunts and uncles. It was like, man, look, boy, your dad was getting in fights every week at school. And then you like, man, he ain't never told me about that. So I think it's important for coaches to have some type of common experience that they can share that can get players through sticky moments of tough situations, could get them over the hump. But if you can't get them over the hump, you just saying general stuff like you got to breathe, you got to just concentrate, you got to focus, you got to be tough. That doesn't always resonate with players. So for me, I don't think it's mandatory, but I think it's very much beneficial.
Yeah. Right.
What's your thoughts on it?
Man, when you look at you have a lot of great coaches who's never played the game before. So my thoughts on it is I don't know. I just don't see. I got to look more at the data.
Well, let me ask you this. Are your greatest coaches those that played the game? So you got to look at it that way. We've had a lot of great coaches that didn't play, but are the greatest coaches the ones that played?
Wow, that's a good way to look at it.
Right?
That's a good way to look at it.
Phil Jackson, Steve Kerr.
Phil Jackson played. Steve Kerr played.
Right. Popovich, I think, played a little bit in college in the Air Force.
Did Larry Brown play?
Larry Brown was an All-American. North Carolina, played in the ABA. He had the assist record in the ABA for a while. He was a hell of a point guard, man.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Larry Brown could go. North Carolina, baby, Chapel Hill.
Pat Riley played.
Pat Riley was number one pick in the draft.
Maybe there is a correlation between being a player.
Right.
But that doesn't mean that, other coaches aren't capable. You know what I mean? But this guy, he's saying that the guy, you had to at least play varsity in order to coach his stuff.
Hey, man, look,
these dudes are funny, man.
I ain't mad. Look, I ain't mad at him. You know what I'm saying? I'm just, if you a dude that on 3-man weave, you go in front of the man, you can't coach my son. If you was one of them dudes that on 3-man weave, you ain't go behind the man, you kept messing up going in front. No, you can't coach my son.
Let's look at some of the comments on Instagram. If you never played, you can't understand the highs and lows of basketball, so you can't deal with the players correctly. Your boy, C. Mike Dunn, he said the best coach I ever played for didn't play basketball in high school. Someone who never played basketball competitively can still be a great coach. The principles still hold true, irregardless if they never been a player before or not. People underestimate how much someone who studies the game can learn in a few years after high school and college.
Yeah, we're talking about two different things. Coaching is one thing. Coaching is one thing. Player development is another.
Uh-huh.
So we gotta delineate between the two. Absolutely, you can coach.
So you don't believe that if you never play, you can't be you can be a skills trainer?
Yeah, like you gotta have when I say play, you could play. You could have been a monster street baller. You could have beat everybody that stepped in front of you. Yeah, but in order to truly, it's like somebody saying, can somebody who's never ever been in a fight as a boxer teach you how to box? Yeah, technically they can teach you. Everybody can do something technically, but from a spiritual aspect, when they start asking you the real spiritual questions, what happened when you got hit in your face? Oh, I ain't never been hit in my face. What happened when you was down on points and he was whooping you and you ain't have nothing left in the tank?
Yeah. What happened when you got dunked on? What happened when you missed 3 shots? I got you.
You know what I'm saying? How did you respond when you walked into a gym and everybody was booing you? I ain't never really. I mean, you got to block it out. It's like all I'm saying is I think that's why the word experience exists. I mean, it's important to have people who have gone through things that you're attempting to go through. And again, X's and O's are different. But I will say, if you're coaching, player development coaching, I think you have to have played at a certain extent to a certain level.
Okay. Hey, let's talk about Complete Hoops 24.
Complete Hoops. It's our project, a brainchild of you and mine, right? That we really want to work on the underserved players in Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama. We know, especially Alabama, to a lesser extent Mississippi. Alabama is truly a football state, and we've seen how much talent. We see how much talent leave basketball to play football. Because it was more attention and more offers and things available, the resources are better for football in Alabama. And I would say to a lesser extent, Mississippi. Louisiana, not so much as, in terms of football, but they're underserved anyway in terms of resources and attention and things if you ain't from New Orleans. You know what I'm saying? So I want us to be able to put together the talent, teach them how to be talent, teach them how to grow and gain and garner attention. I think it's very, very important for us to build this out. And this is going to take place in the spring of next year. Very important that we locate the top 2027s and 2028s, and we build out. We want to have a couple of years with them, right? We want to be able to help, to teach, to groom, to really work with everything on and off of the court. Make sure, we can get them on track if grades are an issue, that we can start kind of navigating or help them and their parents and handlers navigate the path, and then bring them to national recognition, because we do have the resources to do that. So it's huge for me. I love the fact that we're doing it together, the way that we love basketball and love helping and love giving back, and the number of kids that we've gotten on the phone and talked to coaches for and vouched for. I think it's very, very important that we continue to do that on a larger scale. And I think the Complete Hoops Elite 24 is going to be the start of that in that particular area. And I think it's going to be phenomenal in terms of, number one, the attention, and then the talent that we're going to bring in there.
Sure. Okay. So look, D, we both know that, youth sports has become a $15 billion industry.
Mm-hmm. Damn, that sounds low. I would venture to say, when you talk about everything else, every piece of it, it's got to be more than 15 billion.
It may be. I was reading an article on the LA list, and it said that youth sports have become a $15 billion industry. How do you think Neil, name, image, and likeness fits into that? Like, once we start putting in that portion of it, does that number go? Well, obviously it goes up, but how do you think it goes up to? Like,
but this is where I always feel like I was so far ahead of my time. I've been saying that youth sports has been professional sports. I've been talking about this for years, right? And your official signing of a pro contract is really your NLI, your national letter of intent, when you go to college. That's when you really become a true pro. You're a pro before you ever sign a professional contract. But all of it is professional sports because they have spectators. These aren't closed arenas. People are coming in, they're paying money, they're paying big money. $50 for a weekend, big money when you got 4 and 5 kids. That's big money. Traveling is big money. Hotel, big money.
Yeah.
All of that is big money, bro. So this is a huge industry. Like this article states, is a huge industry. And I think NIL is making people even hungrier to get out, get more attention, because you and I both know there is a direct correlation between NIL and social media presence and marketing and things of that nature when you can actually play. But one of the chapters in my book, I talk about you got to make sure your kid can ball, because none of it really matters. All of the attention early, none of that stuff. And we talked about it today with Brandon Barnes on his call, where he talked about, is AAU worth it? And that's what we talked about. We talked about, everybody wants to be the number one player in first grade, second grade, third grade, fourth grade, fifth, all the way up to being the number one player. And I just think it's ridiculous that we won't allow our kids to really grow into the players that they can become and focus more on them being ready when they're 18, 19, 20 versus 8, 9, and 10. We don't know what we don't know if they're going to grow. We don't know, all of this stuff. I think it just becomes very exploitive if we're doing it in the wrong way.
Yeah. So I want to get, how much do you think the average family pays annually in sports cost? What do you think? What do you think?
Sports cost 2 weekends. Let's see, man. I'll just roughly say 10 to 2,000. I would probably say about 8 to 10,000 a year.
Oh, you high.
So what is about 5?
I'm pulling it up right now. Wait.
Because you got to think about sports training with me for a full year is about 5 G's. So if you talk about training, traveling, all of it, it's about 10K.
They're spending 65%. Hold on, I'm trying to pull this up for us. It's up there.
Yeah, that's expensive, man.
It's starting to get expensive. All right, there go your stats right there. But these like post.
Man, 883 is low, man, bro. That's what. Remember, team fees. Team fees, one team. You can't hardly play for a team for that.
I know.
They must be considering rec ball, stuff like that. I get it. But travel ball, it's gonna be in that 10K realm.
Yeah.
With hotels, gas, time off work, you got to calculate all of that.
Yeah, for sure. And then they get the trophies, and then they do this. They get the. Did you see the kid throwing the medal away?
Yeah, I saw that.
How you feel about that?
I think that's all of that stuff is for show. You can do that. You can do that at home. You know what I'm saying? That's for show. That's kind of that that mantra that I'm harder on myself than anybody else.
Yeah.
People have that. People feel like it's some nobility in that, right? Now the problem, I think, they don't need to be giving out participation trophies, but at the end of the day, at the end of the day, man, you can do that at home. You can that can light a fire every time you see it. You can use it for motivation. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't believe they even gave me this mess, man. I'll never get another one of these. Like, you can use it as motivation, but I think a lot of us are so excited about getting content and seeming like we're more virtuous than everybody else, that we got a higher standard. You got a higher standard, don't lose. Shit. You ain't gotta throw it away if you win. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Because it don't make no sense you throwing it away if you don't really went out there and played your hardest, bust your ass. I don't see the point. But what's your opinion of it?
I think you should approach every AAU tournament with a plan. It's not always about it is you want to teach the kids to be competitive, but it's not always about winning. Like you may use one AAU tournament to work on your defense. You may use another AAU tournament to work on your 3-point shot. You may use another AAU tournament to become a better rebounder. It just depends on what your player development plan is when you're approaching AAU. Every tournament there's a championship on the line, and you want to play the right way. But in this video, the kid throwing away the participation medal, if that tournament director didn't give him a participation medal, the parent would be complaining.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. It's almost like you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't.
Yep, that's what it says. No, some of these are no wins, man, because like what we said on the call today, we're dealing with so much emotion. Emotion is what drives all of this, bro. Emotion drives this. And so people are emotional. They're emotional about losing. They're emotional about their kids not playing. They're emotional about teams being bigger and stronger than they are. They're emotional about what they believe, teams cheating and referees. Everybody just emotional. And I think the environment raises weak and soft ass players because everybody around it is weak and soft, but they talking tough. They talk tough. Parents talk tough. You need to get up and there. But the second that they can blame a ref or blame a coach or blame a teammate, they'll do it. So what are they really teaching? Now they many of them have soft mentalities as well.
Check this out, D. This type of shit that's going on in AAU. when I saw this, I was done, bro. I couldn't believe what I saw.
Oh, when he stuck, man, that bro.
Bro, this might be the craziest thing I've seen in a while. Check this out. Look. Watch this. Whoa! Oh! What the? Yo, these kids.
This is why I have a problem with this, right?
Oh, what?
This is why I have a problem when people always. It was this one, and I know you saw when the dude pulled. A white guy pulled the guy off, and the black father came and ran and tackled him like out of the stands. And like I said, when people grabbing, you know, and they pulling people away, again, as parents, number one, we need to raise our kids in a different way, and number two, we gotta have people be able to police our kids. Mm-hmm. Right? We have serious issues in this day and age with allowing people. Nobody better put their hand on my kid or whatever. Police will put their hands on them.
Yeah.
Right? You would rather somebody who cares and has some kind of concern for their well-being put their hands on them versus, versus the cops putting their hands on them. Or somebody in the street. You know what could happen in the wrong neighborhood. He stomp a kid like this.
Yo.
Where we from, that could get ugly and deadly with parents quickly.
Yeah, I couldn't believe this.
What do you think the repercussions should be for that? Like, do you believe that that's a 2-year type of expulsion from playing any travel ball type stuff? How do you feel like that should be handled?
We got to get the kids some help first. We got to figure out what's going on because that's not a normal reaction. Like, if a guy fouls you hard, if you stomp on his head like that, it's something going on at home with that kid. When I look at a kid like that, I see, it's something bigger than basketball for him to react that way. Let's figure out what's going on at home. And then once we figure out what's going on, because, it may not be a mother or father there. The kid may be struggling to fit in with, in high school. Maybe he may not have ate that game. So a lot of these kids come to these AAU games, they didn't even eat that day. So you got to figure out what's going on with the kid first, okay? Once we've established that the kid is fine or if he's not fine, now we can talk about, punishment and repercussions. To an act like that, he's done for the year. I'm sorry. You can't do that. Like, if he's off my AAU, he's done for the year.
Yeah.
And, I want to talk to the parents and figure out, kind of what's going on with them. And if the parents aren't there in the kid's life, we still want to, take the kid in and kind of help him, through that situation. But to do that is crazy, man. I've never seen anything like that in a basketball game. My bad. I have seen it. I have seen somebody step on somebody when Draymond Green stepped on Rudy Gobert.
Yeah, and also Christian Laettner on Aminu Timberlake, who I know well, great guy. And Christian Laettner is the first one to step on somebody's chest. And the craziest thing about that, and this is why people don't understand like the history of the game, Christian Laettner had a perfect game. He was perfect from the field and perfect from the line when he hit that reverse shot on Kentucky. Mm-hmm. But he probably should have been ejected from the game because he had stepped on Aminu Timberlake's chest after a foul while he was lying on the ground.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
So that was the first. I did a video and I did the Draymond video. I said the first everyone hates Chris was Christian Laettner, and he did the exact same thing as Draymond. So you can pull it up. It's going to be Aminu Timberlake. Christian Laettner steps in the chest of Aminu Timberlake. That's why I'm always, I'm real big on when people say, man, it's never happened before. This on you don't never, because half of people don't know history of the game.
Duke pushed the lead back to 9. And then Christian Laettner put his foot down, literally.
There's a double on Laettner. And Laettner kicks it.
That kid Timberlake had pushed me down earlier in the game, maybe 1 or 2 minutes before. And so I just made a mental note to try to get him back and be physical with him. And, the next time I look up, he's standing right underneath me.
Step right in his chest. I don't know if he did it on purpose or not. Yeah, he did.
It was a dumb thing to do, but sometimes the emotion of the game, gets into your head too far. And I got a technical, and then that was it. So I just made a mental note to try to get him back and be physical with him. And, you know, the next time I look up, he's standing right underneath me.
Stepped right in his chest. I don't know if he did it on purpose or not. Yeah, he did.
It was a dumb thing to do, but sometimes the emotion of the game, you know, it gets into your.
No, that's crazy. That's crazy. I don't know how you react, man. How you reacted?
That's why I say, man, I'm happy.
How you react if Christian Laettner steps in your chest like that?
Yeah, I'm a different dude anyway, man. And that's part of the problem. I don't ever advise anybody to have, I had emotional issues. I did. I like stuff like that. I'm gonna see you. I'm gonna find you, and it's on site every time I see you until we 50. It's on site, and he a big boy, but it's on site. It ain't nothing you can do about that. Nothing no coaches can do. Ain't no what do you call it? No diplomacy and intervention and none of that stuff.
Man,
It's just what it is.
over here, bro.
It's gonna be what it is, man. That ain't no tough guy stuff. It's just everybody programmed and wired differently, and I was just always wired that we gonna and it's gonna be immediate. It ain't gonna be I'm gonna wait till the which was always an issue with me in games. I reacted initially, which is not. First of all, that's not what men really do. Men are more tactical, more strategic, not emotional. And I used to be a little bit too emotional when it came to that type of stuff.
Hey, one more time. I got to see this one more
Time
time.
I look up, he's standing
Christian Laettner.
right underneath me.
Stepped right in his chest. I don't know if he did it on purpose or not. Yeah, he did.
It was a dumb thing to do, but sometimes the emotion of the game, it gets into your head too far. And I got a technical and minutes before, and so
I say they won't, but
made a
let me tell you,
note to
stomping on the chest, notwithstanding, this dude was a man. Let me tell you, Christian Laettner was a problem. He was really that dude. So he just ain't care. He wanted to win at all costs. Him and JJ Redick, they do kids, man. Look, and Grayson Allen, they all do kids.
Oh, I forgot about Grayson Allen, y'all.
They all do kids, man.
All right, so let's finish back up with how we started.
I'm Dorian Lee. I'm the CEO of Basketball 101 in Atlanta, Georgia. Been player development, training, and coaching for almost 2 decades. Played at the University of North Florida. I'm literally the oldest in this room, probably here except for Coach Farmer's probably the only one. So I'm 52, and I've been doing this for a long time. I've seen a lot of athletes come in and out of the doors. I've seen dreams really explode, and I've seen many dreams be deflated just because people didn't have enough knowledge in order to go to the next level. And one of the things that we want to do today is kind of keep that dream alive for you, because it can end quickly. So I'm here to answer any questions and to do whatever we need to help.
My name is Dorian Lee II. I play at Dallas Mavericks right now. 20, so I'm probably the closest one here to y'all age. I'm only a couple years older than y'all. So I'm gonna keep it 100% honest. I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. Excuse my language, but this ain't easy.
This shit ain't easy.
NBA, get into the NBA, not easy. And, that's gonna be the easiest part of your journey. Because the hardest part is staying in the NBA, for sure.
That's a powerful statement, man.
Give y'all the cheat sheet. It might not sound good. It might hurt a little bit, but I'll tell you the truth.
For sure. I wanted them to introduce themselves, but we're going to give a little background on how we got to where we are today. And for me, like I said, my name's Theo. I literally was in the same shoes as y'all. I was at the academy. I did all the camps, top 10 in the country, played at Carolina, won a national championship, made the NBA, did all that. And I'm here to tell you, this shit's hard.
Hard, man.
I had experience when I was in y'all's shoes. I was in high school, and my freshman year, I was #1 player in the country. #1 player in the country. I had fun playing the game, and at that moment, when I saw my name at ESPN #1, my life changed because it wasn't fun for me no more at that moment. because I wasn't hunting anymore. I was the hunted. Everybody wanted to get to where I was, and I was like, bro, what happened to all my friends? What happened to all my homeboys? Because they all, at the end of the day, I'm like, dog, them my boys, them my homeboys, they always gonna want me to see. Wasn't the case. You know what I'm saying? Everybody is, there's someone out there jealous of you. That's okay. That means you're doing something right. So I'm all that to be said. I use that as fuel. I remember I went to USA trials and I had an experience that I was number 2 in the country at that point. I had dropped the spot. Andrew Wiggins was in front of me. I went, you know, you still have to try out, blah, blah, blah. And next thing you know, I didn't play that hard. Because I was like, I'm number 2 in the country. I'm going to make the team. Didn't play that hard. Next thing you know, got cut. Best thing that ever happened to me. Because that feeling, I told myself I will never, ever have that feeling again where I won't control what I can control and play as hard as I possibly can. And it honestly helped me for the long haul. I wouldn't be the player I am today. I wouldn't be the person I am today because I was a little arrogant about it, and it humbled me. And while we're here today is try to give y'all that information to not have that happen, and y'all can just take this thing full force and gear to where y'all want to get to. And that's just a little story of me that I want to help y'all with, but we're going to get to more of the nitty